Hi, I am Tom McShay here with Peter Brown.
Hello.
And we got a look yesterday at the upcoming game by Precursor Games. It is a spiritual successor to Eternal Darkness called Shadow of the Eternals.
Ooh.
So I actually got like a real-time demo that was running on our computer. They didn't even bring a computer, they just brought the copy of the game and they actually showed it, so I know that it's legit, but this was saying that they captured themselves.
Yeah, and so this, who's the main character here? You were giving me some background info on her.
So the woman in red, her name is Countess Elizabeth Bathroy, and she's a real historical figure from the 1500s.
Okay. And so what she's doing is she's showing this other character a book, right? That's supposed to show her like all her desires or kind of give her a glimpse into what will be or what has been.
Well, it shows a different thing for each person.
Okay.
Touch the words, Clara. Let them speak to you.
So when Clara, who is her mistress, looks into it, she's transported to the 800s.
Right.
In a time when Charlemagne ruled.
Charlemagne.
Yes.
Charlemagne being the first Holy Roman Emperor, I believe.
Yes. So this is all real time. I mean, Dennis Dyack was showing this and he was very proud of this because this is the CryEngine 3.
Okay.
Which is, of course, the Crytek engine that powers Crysis.
Right.
So all the lighting is real time and all the shadows and stuff, and it looks, I looked really good.
Did they mess with the settings at all, or did they just kind of like install it and?
They just installed it.
There are really minor things that I'm noticing, like sort of like a lack of anti-aliasing on finer objects.
Okay.
But again, like as a PC game, that's all scalable, you know?
Yeah.
And it's going to look very different on a console like the PS4.
Yeah, so we should say, I mean, the Kickstarter starts today.
Okay.
And they want to make it for the PC, PS4, and Wii U.
All right.
But those are stretch goals. I think it's initially just PC, but depending on how much money they get, they can.
Did you explain why not Xbox One?
I don't know, they just don't have a license yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can see here, we'll see the facial animations, which very proud of. Very proud of.
When I saw this earlier, I definitely noticed that the mouth movements are really well done.
Yeah.
I felt the rest of the face, though, was a little stiff. But let's take a look in just a sec.
That guy.
I have an urgent message for His Highness Charlemagne. Do you know where he is?
You must be Charlemagne's courier. Perhaps you should bless yourself from the hand of Jude. They say it is... There is something I must share with you. Something is amiss in this place. Brother Nicholas has recently passed away, and I doubt it was through the will of the Divine. He lies here, but the Order will not let us prepare him for proper funeral rites.
So, I mean, it doesn't look ultra realistic.
Right.
But I think it fits, at least for me, it feels like it fits within the, because this isn't a realistic visual design.
No.
Stylized.
Right. And especially
None of these are
towards the end of this,
What
it's
kind
very
of
clear that this is,
practiced in this
you know,
church?
Yeah.
taken in a
The
different
Order
direction
faithful
other than
to the
realism.
Roman Empire.
And
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So the first, like, mystery is revealed there, where it's like, well, there's... What kind of religion is being practiced in this church?
Yeah. Because it's not sort of the traditional holy religion that, you know, one would associate the time period.
Yes, that's interesting. And also, just a little backstory, with the woman we saw in the beginning, Elizabeth Bathroy, may have killed as many as, like, 650 prostitutes. She was only convicted of killing 80, though.
I see.
Yeah, and she potentially bathed in their blood for immortality. And that's like a real life thing. That's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
But the themes of immortality and the quests for immortality are apparently very big themes throughout this game.
Was that the case? What was the sort of the overlying theme in Eternal Darkness, if you recall?
I don't know. We didn't play on that question.
You can even cut it out of this video.
No. Yeah, so I mean, you see that. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of glamour shots in this because it's not trying to show the gameplay so much as it's trying to show both how good it looks, and I think it looks really good, and also the mood, because I think it's interesting that they chose something that nothing really is happening.
Yeah, like I know
try to get your attention. I like that.
when he's walking up the stairs, it's a very slow process, and I also appreciated that because it's very rare that, you know, games will allow you to sort of experience things at a normal pace.
Yeah.
Sometimes there'll be an element or two where they'll like force you to do it, Usually it's like to deliver dialogue or something. Rarely is it a silent moment, just like traversing between floors.
Yeah, so I really appreciate that, like, the way they're gonna try to get people's attention is just like, no, this game is quiet and this game is thoughtful.
Yeah.
And there's more to it than just like the supernatural stuff.
Right.
The monks appear to be reproducing scripture, but these texts aren't like any I've seen before.
So I mean, one of the reasons I wanted you here is because you're a tech guy. So I mean, what does this look like to you? Is this, I mean, how good is this?
You know, I was thinking about it when I was watching this earlier. There's a lot of stuff that looks great, but then there are some things that sort of stand out, such as the pillar to the right. At the moment, you can see some sort of hard edges where it seems like it wants to be a round material. And there are other things too, like some textures that seem almost like slapped on the model rather than like, you know, hand painted for the room or like with any sort of grime on them. This is still pretty early from what I understand. So those things might change. But apart from that, you know, high polygon models everywhere, high res textures for the most part. They're using depth of field quite a bit. If you notice, there's like different levels of focus depending on, like, especially just when he opened that door, there was a bit of depth of field going on. For the most part, this is pretty nice. I think there were some odd reflections in his eyeballs, and when I watched this and I thought that earlier, it was almost amazing to me that we're at that point where that's the sort of thing we're nitpicking. You know what I mean? It's the really fine details.
Do you know how many people worked on this?
No. I would... How many?
It's less than 10.
Less than 10.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons they wanted to use CryEngine 3 is that they could do something that, I mean, this looks really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is pretty impressive. And they're going to get bigger at, you know, the Kickstarter funding.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The core team is really small.
I will say, you know, the details like the mantle that he's got on, has got really nice fine pieces of chainmail in there. It looks really nice and crisp, and you know, it doesn't look like a texture. It looks like mail.
Yeah.
And then coming up, the end of this is sort of where I then understood that, like, okay, yeah, these guys really do know what they're doing, because not only is this gorgeous and foreboding, but when the camera pans down, you can see the draw distance here is just phenomenal.
Yeah, this part looks. I mean, this is one of the infamous insanity effects, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And it just is like, yeah, I want to play this.
Yeah. You see those particle effects with like the fire jumping up.
Yeah.
You know, that looks like it's all done, you know, physics, you know, in the engine, not pre-rendered bitmaps or 3D, you know, modeled animations.
Yeah.
It looks all procedural as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and that sky just looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things they're proud of, Eternal Darkness, I mean, it was all indoors.
So there was a moment there in the lava where you could kind of see it was just like a flat texture. Not all that lava is moving, right?
Okay.
But with the right camera tricks, you know, and even the sky itself, it's impressive looking, but it's really just a sky box with a high-res texture put on it.
Yeah.
But that said, the artistry here is definitely of a high caliber. And technically it's great too. I don't mean to put it down. It's just, you know, you're always going to find something to nitpick. But overall, I'd say this game looks really great.
Really impressive. And it was running at 60 frames per second.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So now I get to hear more from Elizabeth Bathory.
What did you see? I saw a boy.
Not to interrupt them, but if you look at the hair around there, a lot of the hair is really hard, and there's a lot of jagged.
Yeah, they actually spoke about that specifically. That they're planning to make it look like Lara Croft's hair, really natural.
Tress effects.
Yes, but they're too early for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
You are with me.
Hair is tricky. I went to school for 3D modeling, and hair is one of the hardest things to do.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, that's like the first look that we've had, like, to what this game is, and I think it looks great. And I'm like really intrigued.
I am too. I really enjoy the pace. I think the world design looks interesting. I'm curious to see where else in time they're going to take us.
Yes. So thanks for watching the video.